5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All systems go with Josh Appelbaum starts now.
Hello and welcome to episode 550 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. I'm your host, Josh Appelbaum. What's going on, everyone? Happy Friday. Our work week is coming to an end. It was a short week, guys. We had the last couple days off. We took a breather, but it's nice to be back. It's nice to get back into the swing of things. And I tell you what, I made kind of this comment earlier prior to a couple days off there with the All-Star break. Once you get past the All-Star break, to me, All-Star break is smack dab middle of the summer. So All-Star break means half the summer's over, and then the second half of the summer is still upon you, but it tells you that, hey, baseball's about to heat up. We're going to get into the playoff races before you know it. We're going to start looking at standings, who's in, who's out. My Red Sox are making an unbelievable run here back into contention, which is shocking to me. But more importantly, it tells you that once you pass the All-Star break, NFL, college football, just football in general, is not far off. So with that being said, if anyone saw my Twitter at Josh_insights or is a fan of the Sharp Reports, I did write yesterday a column about NFL win totals that are taking in sharp money across the market. So I did have 3 NFL win totals that I wanted to talk about, 2 unders and 1 over. I'm already holding the Houston Texans over 9.5 wins. I made that bet, about a month ago for the VSiN betting guide. And really what I'm looking for is same kind of thought process. We want low bets, higher dollars, sharp line move, juice liability. So, if a total is, let's just say 8.5 wins, it opened 8.5 minus 110. Now the over is 8.5 minus 120, and the over is getting 60% bets, but 90% dollars. Okay. We have the market telling us that there's been smart money pouring in over the summer on that over. So I do have 3 plays here just to kind of get us excited a little bit for the NFL here returning. And then we're going to get right back to betting Major League Baseball because, again, first half did pretty decent overall. Let's see if we can keep it rolling here into the second half. I do have 3 short money line favorites. We got a couple interleague favorites. We also have some short favorites here with good sharp mush edges from our friends at Juice Reel, as well as some good angles here with Rhythm, backing us up with some AI model plays. So I do want to save the NFL for last, because again, we got baseball games today to talk about, but these NFL games, or NFL teams, I should say, are interesting to me, because I was pouring into the data at BetMGM, updated data, and there are some teams that might be obvious, like really good team take their over. There's a couple teams, again, one team that might be terrible, and I'm looking at their under, and one team that was good last year but might take a step back. So excited to finish up the second half of the pod talking some NFL win totals. But again, hope everyone had a great All-Star break. There's a very interesting topic of conversation on hashtag gambling Twitter. Like, if nothing's there to bet on, are you able to just step away and take a couple days off? I love betting. It's my career. It's my passion. So I was kind of thinking to myself, hey, I wish I had a game to sweat, but it just got me excited to get back in the arena here for today. So we're going to see if we can go 2-1, eke out a winning night on our first official day back from the All-Star break. So without any further ado, let's get down to 3 MLB plays and, of course, try to grind out 2 winners here, which is the goal. So first bet on the board, let's look at a 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time first pitch between the Chicago White Sox and the Toronto Blue Jays. Let's talk line moves, bet split system matches. I'll give you my play here for this one. So the White Sox come in 50-45, just swept the Athletics in the final series prior to the All-Star break. They won that series finale 9-1 as a minus 150 home favorite. Meanwhile, the Jays 45-51, bit of a disappointment after going to the ALCS last year. What did they? Went to the World Series. They just dropped 2 of 3 against the Padres, lost that series finale 5-4 as a minus 125 road favorite. Pitching matchup for tonight. The White Sox are going with the lefty Anthony Kay. He's 6-4 with a 4.23 ERA. Meanwhile, the Jays are going with the righty Spencer Miles. He's 4-1 with a 2.85 ERA. Now, what have we seen across the board here? Well, this game opened Toronto around a minus 130 home favorite. Chicago around a plus 110 road dog. And right off the bat, kind of fishy, right? Toronto is a below 500 team. Chicago is an above 500 team. So you'd think, hey, Sharps would, grab White Sox plus money, better team. Might as well take the plus money. That's not what we've seen. We've actually seen this line go further toward Toronto. I like the Jays tonight, guys. We've seen the Jays get bet up here a little bit. Minus 130 up to minus 135. Some shops are even touching as high as minus 140. So that was notable that the sub 500 team was getting a line move against an above 500 team. Now, let's dig a little bit deeper. The bet splits look really good on Toronto. 60% bets, but nearly 70% moneyline dollars at DK. But the Circa split really jumped out to me. At Circa, Toronto's getting 50% of moneyline bets, only half the tickets, but 98% of dollars. So it tells me a lot of big money out in Vegas going with Toronto. Here's a system match, hinted at this, but if you're a fishy buy low, sub 500 home favorite, facing a sell high above 500 opponent, buying low in those situations on the below 500 team against an above 500 team, it's been profitable. That system is 55-32 this year, 63%, 8% ROI. If you also look at non-division favorites who made the playoffs the previous year in the opening game of a new series, those teams are 115-63, 65% with an 8% ROI this year. You also look at, just in general, the first game back from the All-Star break. Typically, knock on wood, favorites have done well in the first game back from the All-Star break. They're 195-116, 63%, 7% ROI, all the way since 2005. That's a 20-plus year sample. If those favorites in the first game after the break are also facing an opponent who missed the playoffs the previous year, so the Jays would match because Chicago missed the playoffs the previous year, they improved to 157-85, 65%, 10% ROI since 2005. Anthony Kay, by the way, the southpaw, at home, he's been pretty good. 3.06 ERA on the road, 5.94. So I want to bet against Kay on the road. I also want to bet against the White Sox. They're really Jekyll and Hyde. They're very good at home on the south side, but on the road, 19-28. That's just a 40% win rate. That is the 6th worst road record in baseball. So it's kind of fishy. Chicago's got the better record, but line's creeping up slightly toward the Jays. I'm going with Toronto here, guys. Sharp line move. Tons of good system matches. Fade K, fade the Chi Sox on the road. And then also popped open Juice Reel. Noticed a 33%, pretty big, 33% sharp mush edge in favor of Toronto. So 33% more of the sharper winning bettors also going with the Jays. So first bet for me, guys, let's go Toronto. Let's get a win north of the border. I was able to get the Jays boosted. They were minus 135 at Bally Bet. I got them down to minus 127. So shop around, try to get the best number you can. Next one for you. Let's look at an 8:10 p.m. Eastern Time first pitch. San Diego Padres at the Kansas City Royals. Now, the Pods come in 48-48. Just took 2 of 3, though, against the Jays. They won that series finale 5-4 as a plus 105 home dog. Meanwhile, the Royals, 38-59. They just got swept by the Orioles. They dropped that series finale 8-2 as a plus 125 road dog. So, pitching matchup for tonight. We got the Padres going with the righty Michael King. He's 6-7 with a 3.41 ERA. Meanwhile, the Royals are going to go with the fellow righty Seth Lugo. He's 3-6 with a 4.56 ERA. Now, what have we seen across the market? Well, this game opened mostly around a pick, minus 110 both sides, but I did see a couple shops open a little bit more bullish on Kansas City. A few shops open KC a short minus 120 home favorite, minus 115 home favorite. And regardless of the opener, all movement and liability has been steaming the other way, toward the dads. I'm going dads tonight, guys, because I am a new proud dad of an almost 4-month-old. We're actually trying to transition her into her crib, and the last few nights it hasn't gone great. So if anyone has any tips to put your baby into the crib, definitely send them my way. But anyway, San Diego's gotten steamed up to a minus 120 road favorite. Padres have a really good bet split, 78% bets, 93% dollars at DK. Over at Circa, 89% bets, over 95% dollars. So both DraftKings and Circa are showing a pretty good low bets, higher dollar split on the Padres, which coincides with that line move toward the Pods. I'm actually seeing a couple shops inch a little bit higher, maybe toward like minus 125. System matches. Interleague road favorite in the first game of a new series. Padres match. Those teams are 28-16, 64%, 9% ROI this year. Same systems that just lit up on Toronto, also lighting up on San Diego. So favorites in the first game after the All-Star break, 63%, 7% ROI since 05. And if they are also playing an opponent who missed the postseason, 65%, 10% ROI since 05. I want to back Michael King. He's pitched pretty good in July, 2.25 ERA in 2 starts. He's only given up 3 earned runs in 12 innings pitched. And during the day, not great. ERA of nearly 5, 4.98 to be exact. But at night, he's got a 2.35 ERA. He's pitching at night here tonight. Meanwhile, Lugo, he posted a 6.91 ERA in 3 July starts. He gave up 11 earned runs in 14.1 innings pitched. I'm also going to want to back King because he's extra rested. He hasn't pitched in 9 days versus Lugo, who is on regular 5 days rest. So hopefully King has got that extra juice with that extra time off. And then one more system match on the Pods. They're really good against bad teams, knock on wood, but when they are facing a below 500 team like the Royals here tonight, they've gone 26-17, 61%, 16% ROI. So pick 'em or slight KC favorite opener, but we've now flipped to San Diego, minus 120-ish on the road, good splits, rested King, hopefully greater than Lugo. And oh, by the way, I noticed a 17% sharp mush edge from Juice Reel on the Pods, and also opened Rhythm and saw 2 Rhythm recommendations, both lighting up on the Pods as well. So second bet for me, guys, I got San Diego minus 117 at Bally Bet, but shop around most books closer now to around minus 120. Last bet of the night. Let's go out west. 9:40 p.m. Eastern Time, where the Washington Nationals are visiting the Athletics. Are they the Sacramento A's? They're not the Oakland A's. They're not yet the Vegas A's either. But I'm going to bet against the A's. I like the Nats here tonight, guys. Let's set the stage. The Nats, they come in 48-49. Just got swept by the Yankees. They lost the series finale 5-3 as a minus 125 home favorite. Meanwhile, the A's, 41-55. They just got swept by the White Sox. Lost that series finale 9-1 as a plus 125 road dog. So the pitching matchup for tonight, we got the Nats going with the righty Cade Cavalli. He's 5-4, 3.83 ERA. Meanwhile, the A's are going to go with the lefty Gage Jump. He's 3-4 with a 3.51 ERA. Now, what have we seen here across the market? Well, this game opened at basically a pick'em. It was around minus 110, both sides. And Sharps clearly have sided with the Nationals, because the Nationals have gone from a minus 110 road pick'em now up to a minus 135 road favorite. So big steam hitting Washington, moving that line pretty big in their favor, like 20 cents. We've seen some good splits on the Nats at circa 67% money line bets, 84% money line dollars. So a really good low bets, higher dollar split from the Sharps in Vegas on the Nats. Interleague road favorite in the first game of a new series. This just matched with San Diego. It matches with the Nats as well. That system is 28-16, 64%, 9% ROI this year. If you look at Washington, hopefully their bats can get to jump and pace them to a win here. Another advantage here is Nick Kurtz, still hurt for the A's. He's a really good player. Washington is hitting 250. They've scored 516 runs. On the flip side, the A's are hitting 243. They've only scored 422 runs. And they're missing, again, their best player. Nats are hitting 269 against lefties. That's second best in baseball, facing a lefty tonight. And Jump has been great on the road, 0.75 ERA, but at home, 6.20. He's at home tonight. And then get a load of this. Home road really screams the Nats. Washington is 28-18 on the road, 61% win rate. That's the third best road record in baseball. The A's are just 15-26 at home. That's a 37% win rate. That is the worst home record in baseball. So we have a good steam move in favor of Washington. We got the splits. Hopefully the bats of Washington, who they typically hammer lefties, can get the jump. I'm going to go with the good road team here, Nats, against the bad home team, the A's. Lastly, popped open Rhythm. Noticed 1 Rhythm recommendation lighting up on Washington. So shop around, guys. I got the Nats minus 130 at the score, but most books closer now to minus 130. So minus 135, I should say. So Blue Jays, Padres, Nationals. Let's try to get 2 of those if we can, eke out a winning day. Now, as I told you, All-Star break, what does it mean? It means baseball is about to heat up. It also means football is not far off. So I did want to mention just a couple win totals, get you excited. You can play them with me. You can tail fade, do what you like, but at least it's something to think about, because before you know it, we will be betting the NFL. So I'm just going to read to you, make it real simple and easy. I'll read to you my 3 write-ups, as well as a few other teams that caught my eye in terms of their win total. And you can chew on them, see what you think. So, mentioned a second ago, with my kind of style perspective when it comes to win totals, I'm trying to continue to be data-driven. I'm looking at what did the win total open at the time it opened, where was the juice? Was it leaning one way or the other? Then you give it a month, 2 months, couple months. Okay, how has it moved since then? Did we see the win total, get juiced up over or under? Did it rise a full game or a half game? And most importantly, where are the bet splits? Telling me where the sharp money's at. So, with that being said, here are 3 teams taking sharp action, either over or under their win total. First one, no surprise, the Rams. Rams over 11.5 wins, minus 140, juiced up at BetMGM. The Rams finished 12-5 last year. They earned a wild card berth out of the NFC West. LA beat the Panthers 34-31 in the wild card round. I remember Panthers covered. That was nice. And they edged the Bears 20-17 in overtime in the divisional round. That was nice because the Bears covered that one, I remember. But they did lose a heartbreaker to the Seahawks 31-27 in the NFC Championship game. Now, LA loaded up this offseason. You don't need me to remind you. Mostly on defense, adding Myles Garrett. They added Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson to bolster their defensive back, secondary. And if that weren't enough, I'm seeing rumors that Aaron Donald may unretire and join the team. We'll see if that develops or not. But can you imagine, Aaron Donald and, Myles Garrett on the same line? Most importantly, coach quarterback. You still have Stafford, you still have McVay. Here's where it gets good, though. The Rams win total this offseason opened at 10.5 over minus 140. Remember, they went 12-5 last year. However, over the offseason, it went from 10.5 over minus 140 to 11.5 over minus 140. So not only has it risen a full game, but odds makers are still forcing you to pay a premium to bet the over. Like typically, if you open 10.5, you're up to 11.5. You'll probably be juiced under, like 11.5 under minus 140, because you're always going to be juiced back toward kind of where you came from off of a big move. But that's not the case, which kind of makes me like this win total more. Even though it's risen a full game, it's still juiced over. Here's where it gets even better. The over is getting 59% of bets, but 95% of dollars. So a really good sharp bet split on the over. Tells me a lot of big money is on the Rams to win 12 games or more. So the question is, the Rams went 12-5 last year. Can they just be the same, 12-5? Well, you'd assume they're better with Myles Garrett, Trent McDuffie, Jalen Watson, and maybe Aaron Donald. Their strength of schedule, not that hard. It's 13th hardest in football, so you're kind of middle of the pack. But again, I hate to just jump on a popular win total. What the betting market is showing, Rams to win 12 games. That looks like it's taking in some smart money. Second win total for you. The Bears. Chicago Bears under 9.5 wins, minus 120. Surprisingly, because I assumed and I thought, hey, Bears are they're on the rise. They're getting better, but no, maybe some regression. Bears went 11-6 last year, won the NFC North, beat the Packers 31-27 in the wild card round. Again, lost to the Rams 20-17 in overtime in the divisional round. But the market is thinking Chicago could take a step back this year, and there's one big reason here in a second, I'll tell you. Chicago's win total opened 9.5. The under was minus 120. Since that time, we've now seen the under go 9.5 under minus 125. So there's been more liability in terms of the juice. It's now more expensive to play the under. But here's where it gets interesting. The under's only getting 29% of bets, but 80% of dollars. That is a huge bet split in favor of the under. So flip it the other way. 71% of bets are going over, yet the under is getting juiced up and becoming more expensive. It's kind of a reverse line move under situation. Big reason for the under action, the Bears have the number 1 hardest schedule next year. Their opponents posted a combined .550 winning percentage last season. So, again, they're going up against a really, really difficult schedule. They also lost DJ Moore, wideout center Drew Dahlman, safety Kevin Byard. So you didn't really add too much. You lost, again, DJ Moore's an important player. But to me, this is kind of not saying the Bears are going to be bad. It's just that they're going to have a really hard schedule. And the betting market is thinking, maybe they go 9-7 or 9-8 with the 17-game season. But that's notable to me that, hey, Bears a team that theoretically is on the rise. Under 9.5. If they win 9 or less, don't say you were surprised because the betting market likes the under there. This one is a team that is probably going to be bad, but might even be really bad. The Miami Dolphins. Under 4.5 wins at minus 130. Dolphins went 7-10 last year, third place in the AFC East, missed the playoffs. Betting market thinks they're going to be even worse this year because their win total is 4.5. Only the Arizona Cardinals are lower at 3.5. Miami's win total, they opened at 4.5. It's still 4.5, but that's when you got to pay attention to the juice and the splits because It opened 4.5 minus 110, both sides. Now it is 4.5 under minus 130. So it's become more expensive to play the under. And then check out these bet splits. 68% of bets, 98% of dollars are on the under. Miami has the second hardest strength of schedule. So again, playing a team to go under their win total because they have a really tough schedule. Their opponents from last year posted a 542 win percentage. And really with Miami, it's where are they going to get their offense? They lost Tua. They have Malik Willis now under center. But aside from Devin Achane, who's really good, this is who their starting 3 wide receivers are, guys. Jalen Tolbert, Tutu Atwell, and Malik Washington. I mean, that's got to be the worst wide receiving core in the NFL. So not a lot of offense. New quarterback. They still have the same coach who they didn't fire, McDaniel. But the betting market is thinking Miami, 4-13. Could be a really, really bad team. And it makes matters worse that they have a really hard schedule too, second hardest schedule. So under 4.5 with the Dolphins, taking in some smart money. Now some other teams that just caught my eye in terms of sharp splits and line movement. Raiders over 5.5 wins. It went from plus 120 to minus 155. 86% bets, 94% dollars on the over. So smart money on the Raiders to win 6 or more. Smart money on the Bucks under 8.5 wins. It went from plus 120 to now minus 130 with 66% bets, 83% dollars on the under. So smart money on the Bucks to win 8 or fewer games. Saints, maybe they'll be decent this year. Over 7.5 wins. It was minus 105. Now it's minus 125. 84% bets, 89% dollars on the over. So sharp action on the Saints to win 8 or more. Texans, a team I already bet because they were the team I wrote about in the VSiN NFL betting guide. But over 9.5 wins, it was minus 115. Now it's minus 125. 88% bets, 91% dollars on the over. Smart money Texans, 10 wins or more. Broncos, over 9.5 wins. Minus 115 to minus 125. 86% bets, 97% dollars on the over. So sharp money on Broncos to win 10 or more. The Lions, over 10.5 wins. Can they get 11? Well, the over's gone from minus 125 to minus 130. 79% bets, 91% dollars on the over. And lastly, the Bengals, over 9.5 wins. It was minus 110. Now it's minus 155. 85% bets, 97% dollars on the over. So smart money on Bengals to win 10 or more. So you can pick and choose. You can wait and see how the dust settles between now and opening day. But those are just some win totals that caught my eye. Get us thinking about the NFL and kind of the thought process of making data-driven futures bets. So that about does it for episode 550 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. This is the part of the pod where we wrap things up, and I always start first by saying thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for grinding in the arena with me every single day through the ups and the downs, the wins, the losses, the hot streaks, the cold streaks. We're always trying to make data-driven bets with our head and not our heart, and always trying to grind out a winning day, which is always the goal. But if you do enjoy the pod, you value the insights, hopefully, please, could you help me grow this podcast? Just give it a 5-star review on iTunes or Spotify. If you want to click the follow button, recommend the pod to a friend, retweet or like the pod when I put it out on Twitter. Any or all of those things would be very much appreciated. Next, if you enjoy this style of sports betting breakdown, data-driven, sharp contrarian betting, focusing on line movement, bet splits, system matches, focusing on the numbers and what the betting market is telling us, not what our bias is telling us. If this style of betting has appealed to you and you want to learn more about data-driven betting, or maybe you have someone in your life who could be helped out, be aided by being introduced to the data-driven style, well, I'd love for you to go to Amazon.com and type in the Everything Guide to Sports Betting. Or better yet, type in the NFL Sharp Betting Playbook. Those are the 2 books that I've written. Very proud of both, but if you want to grab one or both of my books, bring them the sports book. I'll sign them for you, and I'll buy you a beer or a ginger ale. We'll sweat some games together tonight. Next, have you downloaded Rhythm and Juice Reel yet? My 2 favorite sports betting apps. They help me win. They're going to help you win. Rhythm is great for their AI-backed models and predictions for game bets and player props, as well as Juice Reel. So many great features. You can get the Robo Jackson best bet picks, sharp mush indicators, arbitrage plays, shop for the best line futures, sync up your sports books, get a running report card of your action. But more importantly, you can support the pod via Juice Reel by subscribing to my ASG podcast Juice Reel page. You'll get my best bets as soon as I play them. You get them immediately, and you'll get them way before the pod. Hopefully you'll beat some closing lines. And again, this podcast is free, So if you value the insights, you want to tip your podcast host, I help you become a bit of a sharper bettor and cash some tickets. Sign up to get some best bet picks. You can get them for $9.99 for a week or $24.99 for a month. So if you get basically best bets for a week for $10, that's $1.42 a day. You get best bets for a month for $25, that's 83 cents a day. And just know that you are helping me pay for my daughter's upcoming childcare. But download Rhythm and download Juice Reel. Give them both a 5-star review in the App Store. Next, do you have a live odds page? Well, if you don't have one, you need one. It's such a critical tool. You got to be able to track the market in real time. You can't be late to the party. You got to see when lines are moving. They get lit up in red. You got to track line movement in general, open to current, the opening column compared to all the current odds on the right. Look at shopping for the best number, live in-game wagering odds. You can do it all with Odds Logic. It's the best live odds page around. Highly recommended. I use it every day. If you want to give it a shot, I got a special link for you. oddslogic.com/Josh123. That's going to give you a 7-day free trial and 50% off your first month. So that about does it for episode 550 of the ASG Pod. As always, 2 final thoughts. 1, whether I see you at the Borgata in Atlantic City, Twin River in Rhode Island, the Brook in New Hampshire, Foxwoods or Mohegan Sun down in Connecticut, at the Encore in Boston, Plainridge Park Casino, MGM Springfield, or the Nash in my neck of the woods on the border of Massachusetts and New Hampshire, or out in the desert where the true grinders get down, where Billy Walters sends his number runners with lowest juice possible is found at the South Point, or sweating sharp contrarian plays, jumping in the stadium swim pool when you cash a big ticket at Circa, wherever it may be. You're going to walk up to me, hopefully show me 2 out of 3. Jays, Padres, Nats. First one's on me, next one's on you again. We'll post about the book. It's a Friday night, middle of summer. Let's get some nachos, I don't know, some Cracker Jacks, some popcorn. We'll sweat some games together. But as always, guys, coming off a winning All-Star break, losing All-Star break, good day, bad day, hot streak, cold streak. We can't get too high when things are good or too low when things aren't going our way. We just got to stick to the model, stick to the blueprint. We got to find games that fit our philosophy and then just lay off the games that don't. Games that are against the public, with the house, with the pros, flat bet, avoid parlays, and get that CLV. If we can do that, we're going to be successful sports bettors. So hope everyone has a great Friday, guys. Hope you have an even better weekend, and I'll see you back on Monday for episode 551 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. Good luck, everybody, and have a great, great weekend.